you hear me? Okay, great. Hi, how is everyone doing? Energetic after this last session? Okay, awesome. Glad to see so many excited faces here. Okay, cool. A bit about me. My name is Parikshit. I am going to be the session instructor for this course. And I am a front-end engineer at Facebook. I will be joining there. For the last 3 years, I've been working at Amazon as, again, a front-end engineer. And now I'm finally transitioning to Facebook. And I'll be joining there in the month of January. So it's been a pretty great ride. And I've been, okay, Hindi. Okay. I'll try for Hindi because I know some people might not be from that background. Cool. Guys, मेरा नाम परीक्षित है. पिछले 3 साल से मैं Amazon में फ्रंट एंड इंजीनियर था. अब मैं Facebook जा रहा हूँ एज अ फ्रंट एंड इंजीनियर और मैं जनवरी में ज्वाइन कर रहा हूँ. राइट. सो बहुत अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस रहा है. I'll try to keep it a mix of English and Hindi both because I know some people can't, speak Hindi very well. So I graduated in 2018. मैंने BITS Pilani से. You can't see my video. Is my video not visible, people? All good, right? Okay, great, awesome. Yes, so मैंने graduation की BITS Pilani से 2018 में, and right after that I joined Amazon. And yes, this is my background, guys. So I'm a big front-end enthusiast, and I will hopefully be teaching you a lot of front-end. And by the way, interesting or funny fact, however you want to call it, about me is that I am not from computer science background. And I was the only one which Amazon recruited and was not from computer science, right? So, okay, I'll just put spotlight on myself. How do I do that though? I don't know how to do that here. Okay, anyway. As long as you guys can see me. Okay. Anyway, right. So like I was saying, I was not from computer science background. I've done chemical engineering, in fact, as a student in my college. And also I have a dual degree in biology. So basically I had nothing to do with computer science, right? So मैं आप लोगों को ये बताना चाहता हूँ that being from computer science, not being from computer science in today's industry is irrelevant. ठीक है. तो what matters, मतलब किस चीज से फर्क पड़ता है, is how good you are, how skilled you are, right? And that is what is going to be our goal. मैंने न्यूटन स्कूल में पहले भी 3 बैचेस दिए हैं. And I've seen a lot of students like yourself who started and they did not have any coding experience. And I've seen them getting placed at the best of the places. So certainly there is a lot of scope and there is a lot of things that you can learn. And the thing is that in today's time, right? In the way market is structured today is that tech is getting favored a lot, right? So it's a good time for you because if you're able to upskill yourself or skill yourself rather enough in tech, getting a job or getting the best of the jobs is not going to be a problem, right? And I'm sure that's what you want, right? Everyone wants to grow in their careers and you want to be successful, right? Who wants to be successful? Simple question, right? Yes, Atul, I see you, man. That's it, 53 people only. Bhai, baki log kar kya rahe ho tum? Okay, this is wonderful, right? So what I'm here to tell you is it's very much achievable, and upskilling yourself is entirely in your hand. Or the market now is structured in such a way that it's about skills. It's not about तुम्हारी degree कौन सी थी यार. It's not about तुम्हारी college क्या है, तुम्हारा background क्या है. These are nonsense questions. Okay, what you need to understand is you can make it. If I can make it, you can legit make it. Okay, I had no computer science background, nothing. I did not know coding, but if you really put down your heads और आप 6 महीने इज्जत से जिसको कहते हैं तैयारी करें, पढ़ें, तो बहुत सारी चीजें हो जाती हैं, right? Because the market is arranged in such a way that tech is hugely valued. So I mean, I hope I'm able to set the undertone. What is my current package? Oh, you want to know that? Anyone who wants to guess? Anyone wants to guess? And I'll tell you if you're right. No. Okay. No. It's not in lakhs, that much I can tell you. So anyway, that's not the point of it. But what I want to tell you is, I'm not telling you to say that I have done something extraordinary or anything, but I just want you to know it's very much possible. Soch badhao apni. Think big, right? Stop thinking about money right now. If you think about skill, if you think about building yourself as much as you can, paisa is not going to be a problem, believe me. I know a lot of us in this age. I've been there. सबसे बड़ा गोल यही होता था यार कि जॉब लग जाए, अच्छी जॉब लग जाए, 5 लाख की जॉब लग जाए, 10 लाख की जॉब लग जाए, 20 लाख की जॉब लग जाए, ठीक है? But I'm telling you, you can do much more than what you're thinking right now. It happened to me, so it will happen to you, right? So that's pretty much it from my side, guys, about these things. I hope we'll have a very thrilling journey ahead. And abhi hum kya karne wale hain? So I'll be teaching you front end for a lot of time, for the next couple of days at least, because hai kya ki I've been told that you guys are going to have your interviews very shortly, and being selected at Newton School is it'll be very good for you. So there are 2 things that you are going to require to be successful and navigate at least the beginning of your career well. पहला तो आपको serious होना पड़ेगा अपने career को लेके. If you're here to make a joke out of yourself, मत करो. Does not end well. If you take seriously, then बहुत सारी चीजें हो सकती हैं. So everyone here is trying to help you only, right? So essentially, let's just be focused for the next couple of days, right? We'll go step by step, and you'll learn so much. The Newton School students that I taught in the last batch and last batch, I'm still in touch with them. They're doing so well, right? We'll focus, okay? Just wanted to set that tone before we even begin anything. Okay, so relax. Let's let the chat cool down now. We'll let's just go with the flow. Cool. So what are we going to do? Okay. So we are going to study. Can you see the whiteboard back there, guys? क्या सबको whiteboard दिख रहा है पीछे? Okay, बढ़िया. Right. So who knows about web development? Does anyone know web development क्या होता है? सबको आता है? अरे वाह. अच्छा, किसी को नहीं भी आता? ठीक है, कोई problem नहीं है. See, what is web development, right? So let's just try to look at it. ये है क्या चीज? होता क्या है? And I'm sure if you know someone, yes, people keep talking about भाई HTML होता है, कुछ CSS होता है, and कुछ JavaScript होता है, right? Without even knowing that what we actually mean by that. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is we will just look at things from a very basic and from a very beginner's level, right? So the intention is आप में से बहुत सारे लोग हैं जिन्होंने कोडिंग भी कभी नहीं की है. आप में से बहुत सारे लोग हैं which have some experience. आप में से बहुत सारे लोग हैं which have a lot of experience, right? So what we want to do is सबको समझ में आना चाहिए, right? That's my simple goal. And अगर starting से start करेंगे from this level, तो सबको सही में सबको समझ आ जाएगा. And this is how you start putting your बोलते हैं ना नींव, the base for success, right? So this is how we're going to go about it, right? Okay. So having said that, हम फटाफट से बात करते हैं अपने कोर्स के बारे में कि हम क्या पढ़ेंगे, कैसे होगा, मतलब आपको बहुत मजा आने वाला है. सो just bear with me for a couple of days and you'll see हम कहाँ से कहाँ पहुंच जाएंगे, right? So guys, सबसे पहले अब बात करते हैं HTML की. किसी को पता है HTML क्या होता है? Does anyone know what HTML is? Okay, does anyone know the full form of it? Okay, Atul knows. Atul, you can just type on the chat. For some reason, I'm just seeing your video, so you get the alphabetical advantage. Okay, great. Right, it's hypertext markup language. Yeah. So some people are saying that it's the language of the internet. It's something. Again, those are basically stories. Essentially, what happens, guys, is if you look at an HTML document, can you see the board back here? Okay, right. So please let me know if you are not able to see the text, because I know the lighting of this room is slightly improper. Not clear, is it? थोड़ा पास में रख लेते हैं. Now, HTML. Is this visible? Okay, for some people it is, for some people it's not. I'll assume it is. Okay. So what you can do right now, guys, is if you go to your Chrome browser, I think everyone has Chrome browser. वहां पे जाके कुछ मत करो, just right click, right, and then click inspect elements. Right, just do that once. Go to your Chrome browser, click inspect and click elements. आपके left side में एक tab होगा elements. Did you guys do it? Done. Okay. So what do you see there, guys? You must be seeing these angular brackets. ऐसा angular bracket होगा. I'll just bring this close here. ऐसा angular brackets होगा, right? HTML होगा, body होगा, head होगा, बहुत सारी चीजें होंगी, right? Right? Why am I telling you this? So, okay, this is HTML. Bottom line, that is HTML. So basically, it has something to do with the web. चलो अपने को इतना तो पता है, right? That's a good way to good place to start at. Now, I'm saying a very simple thing that what HTML is. So HTML is the building block of a web page. Okay, what we just saw. And these things, right, that you're looking at, these things which are inside the angular brackets, they are basically, does anyone know उनको क्या बोलते हैं? What are they called inside? Tags, right? They are called tags. तो guys, बहुत सारी tags होते हैं HTML में, ठीक है? And what these tags enable you to do is these tags enable you to define the basic structure of your page, right? और यहीं से शुरुआत होती है web development की. What is web development? So it's basically this, ठीक है? So okay, एक काम करते हैं, simple, right? What I'll do is I'll share my screen with you guys, and अपन अपना एक HTML page बनाते हैं, ठीक है? Folks, a lot of people are saying my voice is not clear. Is my voice not clear? Is my voice not clear? Okay. Guys, maybe it's your speaker or something, because, okay, cool. Let me open my code editor. Okay, I'll click share screen here, yeah. And I'll click desktop one, I'll click share. Okay. Not able to share my screen, folks. There is some configurational issue, but anyway, what I'll do is let's do something else. Okay. What I'll do is I'll share a link with you. Okay, and we'll just start coding there. Okay, we'll make our basic page, and we'll put some HTML markup in there. HTML markup क्या होता है? HTML markup is basically the tags, right? Which you saw here. जब इन सब tags को एक तरीके से अरेंज कर लेते हैं, राइट? मतलब एक ट्री लाइक स्ट्रक्चर में बना देते हैं, तो उसको कहते हैं HTML मार्कअप. तो HTML मार्कअप क्या हुआ? HTML मार्कअप इज lots of tags in one place, right? Okay, so HTML tags, when they are arranged in a certain way, it's called HTML markup. That's it, nothing specific. Okay, now tell me, क्या आप लोगों को मेरा स्क्रीन दिख रहा है? Okay, this is brilliant. ठीक है. Okay, and what I'll do, guys, is I will disable. Please stop drawing on my board, otherwise I will have to kick you out. हम लोग कुछ सीखने के लिए आए हैं guys यहाँ पे. Okay. ठीक है. Let me just stop sharing my screen since some of you are not interested. That's okay. ठीक है. Coming back to the point. So what is HTML markup, folks? HTML markup is a mechanism of writing tags, HTML tags, in a tree-like structure. Tree क्या होता है? Does anyone know what a tree is? Right? Do you know what a tree is? A tree is something which has branches. Okay. Some people are saying DOM, document object model. Okay. Those are some complex terms that you may or may not know. Okay. So ऐसा कर रहा हूँ, guys. Since some of you are really saying it, I'm going to share my screen again. But if you paint on my screen, that is not cool. Okay. Works for everyone. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen again. Okay. And here I have shared my screen. Right? Okay, brilliant. किसी ने भी screen नहीं share किया? Good. Okay, so this is my personal code, so don't look at it too much. I'll create a new file here, ठीक है? And what we'll do is we'll try to write our HTML यहाँ पे, ठीक है? So this is this software that I'm using, guys. It's called Visual Studio Code. It's a software or an editor where you can write code. So I'm going to click HTML here, right? Now, what we do is we say HTML like this. And what my editor is smart enough, it has created this markup for me. ठीक है? तो basically हमने क्या किया? हमने HTML tag define किया. और जो भी code हम लिखेंगे, guys, वो इसके बीच में आएगा, right? Okay. Then any HTML document, it has two things, right? एक होता है head. It's again, this is also a tag, head, right? So I'll just close head, और एक होता है body, right? So I'm going to write body यहाँ पे, and body is closed. Cool. Yes, doc type is not declared. We'll come back to that later. Don't worry about it. ठीक है, guys. अब हम यहाँ पे क्या करेंगे? HTML कहता है कि अगर आपको paragraphs बनाना है, if you have to make paragraphs, you use something as the p type, p tag, right? So anything that is between p will be rendered. मतलब it will be shown on the browser as a paragraph, right? So I'll say this is a para. Cool, right? Similarly, like you have paragraphs, you have headings also, right? Like Sheikh Abdul said, we can say H1. H1 is for headings. So I'll say H1, H1, right? So essentially, hota kya hai, guys? You start a tag, right? You close a tag, right? So you do not need to be from, okay. Anyway, this thing, right, that we are looking at is an HTML code. This software that I'm using is something called as Visual Studio Code. So VS Code or Visual Studio Code, this is something that you can install on your computers. ठीक है? सबको पता लग गया क्या है? ठीक है. So I will say this is heading, right? And in P, I will say this is para. ठीक है यार, ये तो लिख दिया, but what does this mean? Okay, so समझते हैं इसको. What I'll do is I'll click save here, and I'll create a new file out of this. Okay, I'll just save into my desktop, and I'm going to call this file as abc.html. ठीक है? I click save. Simply, मैंने कुछ भी नहीं किया guys. I just save the file, right? I'm going to my browser. Are you able to see my browser? Guys, क्या सबको मेरा browser दिख रहा है? Okay. Let me try that again, यार. ठीक है. Is it visible now? Cool. So what I'll simply do here is I'll say open file, and मैंने अपनी फाइल कहाँ पे डाली थी, डेस्कटॉप पे डाली थी, उसका नाम था abc.html. I'll just open it, and wow, did you see what happened? Did you see what happened? What we have started, guys, we have started creating our own web page, right? What we said, this is heading and this is para. वो heading में आ गया, वो para में आ गया, right? क्या बहुत सिंपल था ना जयंत? कैसे किया क्या? देखो जरा. What I did is, again, let me share my screen with you guys. Let me share the code screen with you. The code which created this thing, right? Where is that code? It is here. Yes. सबको कोड दिख रहा है? Okay. So what we have done, guys, we have written some HTML code, right? And this code, okay, zoom in, I'll zoom in. I hope this is visible, right? This is code. And this is what I used to render on the browser, okay? So now let's try to understand yaar, what happened here, right? मतलब ये हुआ कैसे? Right? So a lot of you know, भाई HTML ये होता है, ये कोड ये लिखा है, इससे ये होता है. But does anyone know ये हुआ कैसे? What you wrote there, how did it render? Does anyone know this? Okay. Okay. No, yes, no, yes. Right? So many of you, so many answers. No problem. I'll tell you how it happens. Okay? Or someone wants to type it out? There is no server and all, guys, here. There is nothing here. It runs on web browser. Okay. Okay, let me tell you what happened here. Okay. For that, first what I'll do is I'll just right click and I'll say inspect. ठीक है. जब आपने इंस्पेक्ट किया गाइस अपने क्रोम ब्राउजर पे, तो आपको यहाँ पे क्या दिख रहा है? आपको यहाँ पे दिख रहा है एक बॉडी है, ठीक है, एक डैश है जो पता नहीं मुझसे गलती से कैसे डल गया, एक हेडिंग है और एक पी टैग है या फिर एक पैराग्राफ टैग है, राइट? सो क्रोम ब्राउजर क्या कर रहा है? आपको आपका पूरा HTML ट्री दिखा रहा है. सो दिस इज द HTML ट्री दैट वीव रेंडर्ड ऑन द पेज, राइट? And very simply how this is working is the instructions that you gave to your HTML document, it's just taking those instructions very simply and rendering the page here, right? So now let's just pause here for a second and try to understand how does a browser render HTML. Okay? Cool. Before I do that, are there any guesses? Okay, of course, there are no guesses. Okay, let me tell you. See, guys, the moment what happens is when you are opening this file, right? Browser के पास क्या पहुंच रहा है? Computer को क्या समझ आता है? When you are opening this file, no, there is no compiler being used here, right? When you open this file, what happened to the browser is browser got a stream, right? It got binary data. Browser को क्या मिलता है? Binary data मिलता है of the file that you had written. और हमने क्या फाइल लिखी? हमने एक HTML फाइल लिखी या फिर एक टेक्स्ट फाइल लिखी, राइट? और वो फाइल हमने अपने कोड में लिखी. ब्राउजर को दिखा कि भाई ये एक फाइल है, इसके अंदर शायद कुछ HTML लिखा है बिकॉज इसका एक्सटेंशन HTML है, राइट? सो व्हाट द ब्राउजर स्टार्ट्स डूइंग इज very simply it reads that file as a string, right? Does anyone know string क्या होती है? Who knows what are strings? Yeah, strings are characters, right? Alphabets, characters, anything, array of characters, whatever you want to call it, anything is a string, right? So guys, the browser gets a string, okay? But now the second part there, the browser has to understand what the string is, correct? So even after you get a string, you need to do something about that string, right? String in itself does not mean anything. So browser first does the process of tokenization, right? What does tokenization mean? Tokenization means आपने पहले पूरा पढ़ लिया आपका string, which is called as parsing, right? Parsing means reading, right? So now that you've read it, you start tokenizing it. What does tokenize mean? आपको अगर अभी ये कोड दिख रहा है guys, let me zoom in here again and I'll close this so that it's more visible for everyone. Okay, आपको ये जो कोड दिख रहा है यहाँ पे, this is HTML head body h1 body. ठीक है, this is the whole thing, right? So what the browser does is it will break it into tokens. तो सबसे पहले ब्राउजर क्या करेगा, देखेगा भाई कि इसमें टोकन्स कौन से हैं. तो ब्राउजर को क्या क्या टोकन्स मिलेंगे? ब्राउजर को मिलेगा एक HTML, ब्राउजर को मिलेगा एक हेड, एक बॉडी, एक डैश, राइट? ब्राउजर को मिलेगा एक h1, ठीक है? ब्राउजर को मिलेगा कुछ और स्पेस, जो यहाँ पे स्पेस है, फिर ब्राउजर को मिलेगा एक p टैग, फिर दोबारा ये स्ट्रिंग जो बीच में लिखी है और स्पेस, राइट? अब ब्राउजर को ये भी मिल गया, ठीक है? इसके बाद ब्राउजर क्या करता है? ब्राउजर कंस्ट्रक्ट्स अ रेंडर ट्री, ठीक है? सो व्हाट डज अ रेंडर ट्री मीन? रेंडर ट्री का मतलब है टू पेंट दिस थिंग ऑन द ब्राउजर, राइट? मतलब पेंट का क्या मतलब है गाइस? जो आपको फाइनली रिजल्ट दिख रहा है यहाँ पे, दिस इज द पेंटेड आउटपुट, ठीक है? वो कैसे हुआ? ब्राउजर ने पहले रेंडर ट्री बनाया. रेंडर ट्री में क्या होता है? ब्राउजर को ज्योमेट्रीज कंप्यूट करनी पड़ती हैं. ब्राउजर को सबसे पहले ये देखना पड़ता है कि भाई इसने जो लिखा है, दिस इज हेडिंग, दिस इज पैरा, जो भी अपन ने लिखा है यहाँ पे, हाउ डू आई अरेंज दिस टेक्स्ट, राइट? सो सी, if you look at this, what is happening is when I am zooming in my screen, the text goes away, the text starts looking bigger, right? So this is because the browser is doing this for you, right? So essentially guys, what I'm saying here is, after tokenization happens, the browser constructs a render tree, and after render tree is constructed, render tree क्या होता है? वो ज्योमेट्रीज कैलकुलेट करना, वो डिजाइन बनाना जो हमें वेब पेज के कैनवस पे, इस कैनवस पे हमें दिखाना है यूजर को या कस्टमर को, राइट? आफ्टर दैट पेंटिंग हैपेंस, राइट? So what are the things that we talked about? First there was parsing, right? Then there was tokenization, right? Then there was render tree construction, right? And finally the paint happens. आपको as a customer कब दिखता है result? When it's painted, right? So when it's painted here, you see this, right? But guys, I mean, I'm sure आप सब भी यही सोच रहे होंगे that यार ये तो सिर्फ heading है, ये तो सिर्फ ये है. What does this even mean, right? So what does this mean is this can, from here you can go till here, right? Are you looking at this? Is anyone familiar with this bar? Where have you seen this? Where have you seen this, guys? Flipkart, right? आप सब लोगों ने Flipkart पे देखा है ना? लेकिन क्या मैंने Flipkart.com खोला है, guys? Have I opened Flipkart.com? No. But what does this mean? That hey, we have written the code for it, and we are able to create a clone for Flipkart. Matlab not exactly Flipkart. We have created a clone for Flipkart का top bar, right? Which is a big thing here. मतलब आप इस पे क्लिक कर सकते हो, कुछ लिख भी सकते हो, आपके पास लॉगिन बटन भी है, आपके पास ये भी है. देखो कितना कुछ करता है मेरा पेज, right? There's a cart also, right? So there are a lot of things on this page, right? And this is what we are going to create in the next 1 week, right? And this is big, right? So it's going to be pretty interesting. So if I again the rules apply, right? अगर आप elements में जाएंगे तो वही HTML होगा, वही head होगा. हेड के अंदर हो सकता है कुछ चीजें लिखी हो, वो चीजें के बारे में अपन बाद में जानेंगे. और हो सकता है हेड बॉडी होगी, बॉडी के अंदर कुछ और चीजें हैं, जैसे there's a div, there is another div, right? Basically जैसे हमने देखा था पैरा, वो मतलब P is for paragraph, H1 is for heading, ऐसे div is for this division, right? And हमने अलग अलग क्लासेस बनाई हैं, कुछ हो रहा है यहाँ पे जो मतलब हो सकता है आपको समझ नहीं आ रहा, मुझे भी नहीं समझ आ रहा. We will take care of that as we keep going forward, right? So again, these are HTML tags, right? These are also HTML tags, but these are different tags, and different tags do different things, right? So एक बार इसको समझते हैं, ठीक है? पेज पे क्या क्या है? First there is a header, right? Then there is the first div, ठीक है? इस first div में क्या है guys? दो चीजें हैं. एक तो ये logo है. जब देखो जैसे जैसे मैं इस पे hover कर रहा हूँ, it is basically highlighting that part of the page. So I went to logo, right? Then I went to search, ठीक है? And then I clicked on logo. तो इसके अंदर logo है. If I clicked on search, तो इसके अंदर एक form है, right? And this is the form where you're able to type out something, you're able to search button. So it's essentially a form. ठीक है? फॉर्म के अंदर जाएंगे तो उसके अंदर एक इनपुट टैग है. इनपुट टैग से आप इनपुट ले सकते हैं. सिमिलरली राइट में एक बटन है. व्हाट आई डू इज मैं इसको नीचे लगा देता हूँ, राइट. इसके राइट में एक बटन है, जस्ट दिस बटन, राइट. एंड यूएल इज बेसिकली a list, right? Unordered list is called UL in the world of HTML. Then there is LI, which is a list item, right? और ये कहाँ पे है? ये आपको दिख नहीं रही हैं, but these are present here, right? So if I go inside LI, there is more, and there are many other things inside that, right? जैसे अगर आप इसको क्लिक करोगे तो आपको दिखेगा notification preferences है यहाँ पे. If you click this guy, then it's sell on Flipkart and many other things, right? So I'll just stop here. I think most of you got the sense of it, right? Okay. So any questions for now? Is this making sense to you? हम लोग ये बनाने वाले हैं in the next coming days, right? Okay, someone is asking what is div? Div कुछ नहीं है यार. Div is, so it's the same question. What is P, right? P is something. These are all HTML tags, ठीक है? So HTML tags are used to render a web page. Let's just call it that, ठीक है? तो HTML है आपके पास उसमें बहुत सारे tags हैं. Div is just one of them, right? LI is a list item. It's another tag जो UL के अंदर लिखा जाता है. UL is unordered list, right? अब सबको समझ आ गया div क्या है? How did that HTML render the page? Okay, I'll explain it one more time. Okay, एक बार समझते हैं कि ये रेंडर कैसे हुआ, ठीक है गाइस? और वो हमें कैसे समझ आएगा? बहुत सिंपल है यार. अपन इसका कोड देख लेते हैं, ठीक है? सो लेट मी जस्ट ओपन द कोड फॉर दिस वन एंड आई विल शो यू द कोड कि कोड किस तरीके से अरेंज है, राइट? गिव मी अ सेकंड. Right. So yeah, getting back to the browser, and a lot of you have asked what is render tree and as to how this is getting rendered on the screen, right? So we just talked about how you wrote inside this, in the sense that okay, lots of things. Manohar, I am talking in English. If you think you're cool by writing a lot of things on the chat, you're just wasting your time. Okay, coming back to the point, what I'm saying is you have written some HTML, right? And HTML allowed you to create the structure of your document, of your page, right? Guys, if you do not stop spamming, I will be disabling the chat, right? Okay, anyway, there are some people here who are to learn. Let's just try to cater to them. Okay, ठीक है. Coming back here. You can just minimize the chat box, guys. If you are getting distracted by it, we'll just focus on what is going on here. ठीक है? So I talked about HTML क्या करता है. HTML is the code you write to create the structure of your web page. Is this clear? Okay, this is clear for everyone. Okay. Now, to make this page, to render this page, HTML ही सिर्फ काफी नहीं है. HTML का काम होता है पेज का स्ट्रक्चर बनाना, right? अगर आपके पास एक घर है, so what do you do first when you have to create a home? You erect the pillars, right? So think of HTML as pillars for your web development. So when you're starting web development, to make any page out there in the world, any website, the most beautiful one, the most complex one, the easiest one, right? When you go inside the elements, you will see HTML tags, right? And that is what HTML is about. Okay? So HTML is for laying down the basics, laying down the pillars on top of which you are going to construct your website. Okay? Okay, now comes the second bit, right? Which a lot of people talked about, right? What were we talking about? We were talking about how do we make our page beautiful, right? So definitely what you are seeing here, right? This one is also a web page, and this is also a web page, right? But essentially, it's very easy to see that, hey, this one looks much better than this one. This one looks much complex. There are so many things which are happening here, right? Search hai, Flipkart likha hai, login hai, the color is blue, and a lot of other things, right? Right, folks? So how that works is to style a page, right? To style a page, you use a language, right? In coherence or in congruence, मतलब HTML के साथ में हम एक language use करते हैं जिसको बोलते हैं CSS, right? CSS का क्या मतलब होता है? CSS is cascading style sheet. I know the name sounds complex, but believe me, it's not, right? So let's just try to add some CSS. Let's just try to give it some style. देखते हैं यार क्या चीज होता है, right? Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my code screen again. Okay. Where is my code? Yep, I think this should be the one. Yeah. Folks, can you see my screen? I'll just close this. This is my thing written here. I'll open our code. Just desktop here, right? Is everyone able to see? This is the code we have written. There's nothing complicated about it, nothing heavy going on here. Okay. So very simply, what we'll do is we want, let's say, a very simple requirement here. We want our heading to be of red color. Okay. हमारी heading red color की होनी चाहिए. This is our simple requirement. Okay. Okay. So first of all, what I want to show you is another power or another feature of your Chrome browser. So I'll quickly go to the Chrome browser. Okay. So I hope you're able to look at the Chrome browser. Okay. When you click on, let's say, heading, right? So in here, there is something called as element style, right? I think you should all be able to see it, element style, right? So basically what this guy is saying, hey, you can use me, right? And this is what CSS is, to make the element of certain style. मतलब you can add some style to this. ठीक है? तो अपन क्या करते हैं? Let's add a very basic style. ठीक है? So I would say color, and I will say color is red. Wow, what just happened? What just happened, guys? Did you see what happened? The heading magically turned red, है ना? And I mean, you can do a bunch of other things there with this guy, right? I mean, there are so many styles out there. You can try them all, right? But let's leave them for some other time. There is again this paragraph tag also, right? And there are so many things, many things. We'll just keep seeing them. हम क्या क्या कर सकते हैं यहाँ पे as we keep going along. But the point that I wanted to make is CSS is used for styling a page, right? So this page here, which you are seeing here, this is of course a slightly more complex page, slightly more complex styles, but they are made in essentially they will be built on HTML and they will be built on CSS, right? So do we understand this, guys? Do we have agreement on this? Very simply that no matter how complex a page is, दो चीजें तो पक्का होंगी, right? One, it will have HTML for setting the basic pillars. Second, it will have CSS for styling, right? Any page, as long as it's on the internet, and that's where web pages are. So you're pretty much covered, right? Oh no, it's not complicated. It's very straightforward, right, guys? We know very simply क्या क्या होता है, क्या क्या नहीं होता है, and how, you know, we'll just keep going with this, and we'll just keep building on top of this, right? So okay, we know these tags. Let's look at some other tags also, right? So some other tags which I wanted to talk to you about is, let me again go back to my code, and let's just play with those also, guys. Okay, you guys are able to see the screen, guys? Right, you're able to see. Okay, great, cool. So let's do some more cool stuff. Okay, so अपन पहले क्या करते हैं? Like there is H1, there are many other types of heading also. Okay, so I'll say this is heading 1, right? I'll just copy paste this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this H2, right? So what is H2, guys? Heading 2 is H2. There's something called as heading 3, heading 4, like this, right? And we will just see shortly iska effect kya hota hai, right? So by definition, H1 is the largest heading, and as you keep going down, it will you can go up till H6, right? And this will be the smallest heading, right? 4, 3, 2. There is H5 also, which, okay, as we're putting all of them, I'll put this also, right? Okay, so we'll come to this later. Let's try a few other tags that I know. Okay, I'll try to show you all the tags that I know. Okay. So there, like the heading tags, there are certain tags which you can use for styling a particular text, right? So there is something called as stripe, right? Right, folks? Did everyone understand this? Strike karke ek hota hai. There is something called as strong. Right? Oh, my editor is smart. It automatically knows for me. Okay. And now let's just go back to our browser. Let's see is code ka effect kya hai, right? Because that's how we are going to see. Of course, since Mayank said bold or italic bhi hota hai, hum bold bhi kar dete hain. Okay. So I'll say PP, and I'll say bold text, and we'll say this is bold, right? And similarly, there is something as I, which means, as you might have guessed, italics, right? And in italics, there is something, there are others also, of course. Now you can also have subscripts or superscripts, right? So I'll say SUP, and I will say super, right? And now, okay, now we've written a lot of things here, okay? But we just need to see what is going to be the effect of this. I'm very excited to see that. I'll just share my browser again, right? You're able to see, guys, the browser? Okay, and I'll just reload. Wow. So, hey, a lot of things happened here. Let's just try to understand, okay, what's going on. Okay, let's see. So this is heading 1, of course, as the biggest, as we expected. This is heading 5 again, right? And this is heading 6, right? And what you are seeing here, guys, is heading 6 is striked out. And why is that? Because हमने कोड में क्या लिखा था? हमने कोड में लिखा था that hey, you strike out this heading, right? Got it? So this is strike heading. What that did is it strike the heading, right? And again, in here, what we had said is this is para, और हमने para को strong कर दिया था, right? Finally, यहाँ पे हमने क्या किया था? हमने पूरे ही text को bold कर दिया था, right? And this are equivalent if you look at it, right? And lastly, हमने क्या किया था, guys? हमने इसको italics किया था और यहाँ पे हमने इसको superscript बना दिया था, right? तो superscript क्या होता है? Who knows what superscript is? Does anyone know? Any chemistry students here? Any? Yes, power, right? And chemistry students would know there is, जैसे super होता है आपके पास, वैसे आपके पास sub भी होता है. Sub का क्या मतलब होता है? अगर मैं इसको sub कर दूं तो ये नीचे चला जाता है, right? So raised to the power and base, right? Very cool. Okay, तो हमने बहुत सारे टैग सीखे यार. Rather, they're pretty much the same here. Strong and bold do not have a lot of difference. So whatever difference they have right now, we can ignore. ठीक है? But यार, what I have seen is इस पे बहुत सारे images भी होता है, right? मतलब there are web pages which have lots of images also. But now the question comes to my mind, and I start thinking two things. Please, if there is something on the web page, it has to be written in HTML, right? And if something is written in HTML, there must be a way, right? There must be a way कि मैं images भी HTML में डालता हूँ, right? अभी तक तो मैंने text डाला, अलग-अलग तरीके से डाला. Somewhere it's superscript, somewhere it's bold, somewhere it's strike through, right? But nowhere is it the fact that we have an image. So let's see how we can add images, right? So what I'm going to do is, again, I'll share my screen and I'll just take you back to the code, ठीक है? और हम यहाँ पे एक image लेके आते हैं, ठीक है? So and let me do this. Let me just find some image online which we can plug in here, ठीक है? So okay, some people are saying use image tag. Yes, that's how you do it, right? So I have copied an image that we are going to use in our code, right? So what I'm going to do here, guys, there is something called as img, right? ठीक है? Image tag में क्या होता है? There is, so now it's time to understand another thing about HTML. एक तो HTML में tags होते हैं, दूसरा tags के attributes होते हैं. So जैसे image tag है आपका, इसका एक attribute होगा, right? Attribute क्या होता है? Attribute ऐसे लिखा जाता है, ठीक है? और उसकी वैल्यू ऐसे स्पेसिफाई की जाती है, right? So ऐसे img src is equal to something, right? So src attribute का image में मतलब है source, क्योंकि guys text तो आप ऐसे डाल सकते हैं, right? But अगर आपको image डालनी है तो आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा? आपको उसका एक source देना पड़ेगा, right? So src takes care of putting the source of that image, right? अब यहाँ पे आप क्या दे सकते हैं? Either you can give a path to your local file, और let's say मेरे यहाँ पे कोई फाइल पड़ी होती है, मैं उसका पाथ दे देता, या फिर आप क्या कर सकते हैं? इंटरनेट पे एक लिंक, जैसे कोई भी इमेज का लिंक आप यहाँ पे डाल सकते हैं. So what I'm doing is I am saying img src is equal to this link, right? I don't know what this is, I just copied it from somewhere, right? And let me show you my browser. Let's see what has happened there. Okay, so since it was added to the end, let's scroll down and let's just zoom out a lot. There is an image that we've inserted, right? Right? Did everyone understand? So we have text, we have images. Okay, we are definitely onto something here, right? So now we know by images कैसे डालते हैं. Now we know text कैसे डालते हैं, and what else is left here? What else is left? Website में और क्या होता है? So these are most of the things, right? There are other things also, of course. So I have seen tables, right? And of course there are lists, right? And there are many other things, right? So Is this hard? No, it's not hard. You just need to know about some of the HTML tags, right? And then you need to manipulate them, right? You need to construct a markup out of them. Markup क्या होता है? हमने अभी देखा. I'll just go back to my screen. Right? This is a markup, right? Whatever you've written here, guys, is a markup. Okay. Yes. This, guys, is a mistake. Instead of writing super, I was supposed to write sub, but I ended up writing super. So I've just corrected that. Thank you for pointing that out. So HTML is very forgiving that way. Even if you write the wrong thing, it will automatically correct it for you, right? Okay, so some people are asking, how do we insert images? Very simple, guys. All I've done is you just need the image tag, like the P tag, I tag, B tag, and many other tags that are on this page. Something called as IMG tag. It has an attribute which is called SRC, and उसके अंदर आप कुछ डाल सकते हैं यहाँ पे, ठीक है? Right? Javed is talking about another tag. It's called the A tag, right? A tag is essentially anchor tag, right? Anchor tag is used to move between pages, right? So आपने किसी website पे देखा होगा, when you click on a certain tag, right? You move to the next page, right? Links होते हैं, right? Hyperlink जिसको कहते हैं, right? So there is A tag, right? And यहाँ पे इसका एक property होता है href, right? So href का मतलब क्या होता है? Hyper reference, right? So let's say there is, I mean, the most simple website which all of us use is, let's say google.com, right? So what I'm going to do is, in this code, right, in href, I'm going to say google.com, okay? And इसके बीच में we'll say, take me to Google, right? Let's go back to our browser. And I'm here. Reload the page, right? So it says take me to Google. What should happen when I click this? It will take me to Google, right? So I click this and ta-da, you're on Google, right? And if you go back, you're back on your page. So pretty cool, right? We learned a lot of things today. We learned what HTML is, right? How HTML allows us to render a basic web page, right? And yeah, so I think that's pretty much it, guys, for today. This is the first class. I do not want to burden you with a lot of details, but the point is, as we keep going forward, we are going to create many such things, right? You're going to see how things get very complicated, how web development is a huge field, which maybe you're only scratching the surface of, right? So yeah, we'll stop here. What I want to do, guys, right now is just feel free, ask me some questions, and yeah, that's pretty much it from the coding side. We'll keep talking about it, and there will be assignments starting today, tomorrow, not today. Yeah, every session is recorded, so you will receive the recordings, right? Okay, yeah, बहुत सारे questions आ रहे हैं, so many I can't answer. Okay, these are some things which I can answer. My journey. Okay, I can talk about my journey for sure. Right. Right. So my journey. Okay. I entered college in 2013. Okay. I went to this college called BITS Pilani. I did my engineering from there. And what engineering I did? I did chemical engineering, and I did that with another emphasis on, what do you say? I also did a master's in biology. Okay. So by education, these are the things that I have learned, right? But just like you people, I was very interested into coding during my initial years at college, right? And I used to spend a lot of time learning coding, a lot of things, right? So I started very early, and yeah, I used to code a lot. I used to go into do a lot of experience in terms of data structures, algorithms, HTML, CSS. That was pretty much all I did in my college life, right? But then, right, I interviewed for with a lot of companies, right, and I made it into some of them. I did not make it into some of them, right? So the point is that working hard works, right? And coding is an acquired skill, like many other things, which means that if you want to learn to code, there is only one way to do it. You need to practice a lot, right? Okay. Someone is asking me, do marks matter for joining any company? Uh, no, not really. I mean, I did not have a lot of very high score in college, but still, I was able to crack most of it. So the only thing, guys, which matters is skill. Okay. Uh, I mean, I know some of you think that this is very hard. This is, uh, I'm not able to understand this, but the point is, you will eventually be able to make sense out of this, right? Hang on, let me just remove my earphone. Yeah. So right now, this might be looking confusing to you, right? And it is probably in the beginning, but believe me, things get easier, right? If you're skilled enough. I mean, guys, you have a lot of questions here. If I do this, if I do that, do I get a job? What is my package? See, these are things which are not, which you should not worry about, right? So what I'm saying is, no, the job is not stressful. If you like something, it's never stressful. If you love what you're doing, I don't think you can ever get stressed, right? So that's your answer to that. Okay, so okay, difference between Python and development. See, my advice here: if you do not know what something means, don't just bring it up just like that, right? So, so someone is asking me Python. What is Python? If you don't know what is Python, so don't worry about it, right? We'll take care of it when we have to, right? So see, knowing a lot of names is not going to do you any good, right? Anyway, which editor I use? I use Visual Studio Code, which is in front of you, where this thing is being shared. Guys, am I audible for everyone? Okay, I am audible. Okay, some people are saying that I'm not audible, but okay, the chat is too quick here. I'm not able to catch up with you guys. Is maths needed for coding? See, a lot of things, right? Coding, programming, these are things which are built on top of mathematics, essentially. So having a good grasp of maths definitely helps. But if you do not have, if you do not know, if you're not too good at maths, it does not really matter. See, there is no mathematics which was used for creating this page, right? Right? Guys, I can barely catch up with the chat volume here. I'll just close it. Right. But few concluding remarks here, which might be important for some people, might not be important for some people. Let's just calm down on the chat here. Let's just stop it. Just everything will be answered as you keep going forward in the course. Just calm down and listen to me for a few minutes. Okay. What I want to tell you, guys, calm down. Stop the chat. Right. Just listen to me for some time. Okay. So no, what I want to tell you is very simply, in today's world, the world really works on coding, right?
everything that you have is about coding. Matlab, any product that you see, any apps that you use on a daily basis, we are sitting here, Zoom, what you're seeing on my screen, everything is coding, right? Right. So definitely being a good coder, understanding how technologies work is something which can actually change your life, right? So believe me, I have seen people who came from nothing, had nothing, had no jobs, had no skill, and excelling them, right? These people. So a few of my colleagues at Amazon, one of my colleagues at Amazon, rather, uh, he is an ex-security guard, right? So I met him, I met that person 4 years ago, and he used to work as a security guard, right? For a small tech startup, okay? And I was interning at that startup at that time. Interesting story, you should hear about it. And what happened there is he one day asked me, hey, how much do you guys make? Right? How much money do you interns get paid? So I said, we get paid this much, right? Some amount. And he was surprised. He said, but you don't work so long. You work for 5 hours, 6 hours. I work for 12 hours and I just make 8,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees a month. So what do you know that I do not know? Right? So I asked him a very simple question. I asked him, Bhaiya, aap kahan tak padhe hain? Till where have you studied? Right? So he said that I have done some Bachelor of Arts. He had done some BA from some university locally, right? So of course, but the guy could read English. He could probably speak a little bit of English, not that much, right? Okay. So what he did is he asked me, "Aap mujhe batao, you tell me, what can I study? Matlab, how can I be inside this office and not outside this office, right?" So I told, so even that time I thought, hey, this guy is talking nonsense, right? He can't study these things. He has no background, right? So what ended up happening is I just, I just took a chance, right? I just gave him, I gave him a book, right? That book was about data structures, very simply, right? And what data structure? It just had 3 data structures. It had array, it had linked list, right? Very simply, these 2 data structure, and there was some algorithm. It was a very small booklet type of thing, right? And these were all in JavaScript. It was barely a 50-page book, right? And what happened, guys, is whenever I used to look at him, right? I always saw him reading that book, right? It was a very small booklet which I just gave it to him, right? He was always reading that book. So after 2 months passed, 3 months passed, and I never took that guy seriously. I'm like, "Theek hai yaar, must be doing something, right?" Okay. What happened then is, after some time, he said, "I am able to understand this. I know what this thing is, right?" Of course, there were days when he used to ask me, what is an array? He had some very basic question, right? What is an array? What is a... I don't even remember. It's been 4.5 years, right? But he would ask me very basic questions. What is this for? Matlab, so there is something called as loops in JavaScript. So he used to ask me, what are loops? How do I iterate? And very basic stuff, right? And I did tell him that, hey, this is this, right? Okay, then 5 months passed, right? And then this guy said, मुझे ये book अच्छे से आता है. This book I know very well. I know everything about this book. And I did not take him seriously, right? But then he said, please take me seriously. Try to just get me some very minor job in here, right? And so what I did is, guys, my internship was about to get over. It was a 6-month internship, and I was, I was to go back to college. I just spoke to my manager very casually that, hey, I know this guy, and he does not know any coding, but so everyone knew that guy because he was very active. He used to help people, and all that stuff was there. So I said that, hey, he wants to try out coding. So they laughed at me for even bringing up that topic. So I said, let's keep this very simple. He says that he knows that book very well. Let's ask him something, right, from that book. So we ended up asking him a very simple question. All right. We asked him that, hey, there is this array and you have to find the sum of all of the elements in that array. I still remember this very well. And he wrote a for loop, and he declared a variable on top of it using var. So he said var s is equal to 0, and he created a loop, and he just calculated the sum, and we were blown. What the hell? This is a security guard, and he's able to do this. So everyone was shocked, right? Then what happened, guys, is the company and my manager, who was a nice person, they decided that, hey, we should give him an internship, right? So they ended up giving him 2 months of internship there, right? And that time they were giving him a salary of 20,000. Okay. This guy worked extremely hard during that internship, right? It was a very simple internship. He was learning some JavaScript, some HTML, and doing very, very simple fixes there, right? And yeah, after that internship, they extended his internship for 6 months, right? And he worked extremely hard. And the next time I met that guy, it had been 6 months, and he had become very, very good at his work. So he had become very good at front end. He knew how to make complex web pages, how to make API calls and whatnot, right? I was also shocked that how did this guy learn so much, right? And then they gave him a full-time employment there, right? For a package of 8 lakhs or 10 lakhs, I don't really remember, right? And then he got promoted within 1 year, right? So, and after that, I'll just cut it short. What happened eventually, guys, is after 2 to 3 years of being in that small startup, I referred him to Amazon because I was working there, and he made it to Amazon as a software engineer 1, right? SD1, which is a big deal being in Amazon, right? So the reason that I'm telling you this is I'm pretty sure most of you, if you're on this call, you have a laptop in front of you, you are on a Zoom call, you can at least do more than what that guy did, right? At least if there is will and if you are motivated enough, right? So I have seen people change their life by pursuing hard work, by pursuing coding. So I'm someone who believes in this, right? In what I'm doing. And I think this can change your lives potentially. So rest is up to you guys. If you take this seriously, if you do not take this seriously, I leave that up to you. But if you take it seriously, then a lot of good things can happen. If you do not take it seriously, then you'll be just typing nonsense on Zoom chats, as some of you are doing, and you can keep doing that for next 5 years, 10 years, whatever, right? So with that, I'll leave this up to you. How do you want to take this? If you think you're cool by writing stupid comments on a Zoom chat, well, you're cool. But if you want to make something of yourself, well, that's what we are trying to do here, right? So yeah, with that said, that's it from my side. I hope we were able to, start this on a good note. Things will get complex, right? This is where I started my coding also, the HTML, and today I am a front-end engineer, senior front-end engineer at Facebook. So it has been a journey of lots of learning. It has been a journey where complexity rose from nothing, like writing H1 and H6 to writing components for the V8 engine. It's what powers JavaScript, or it is what renders this thing on the browser, right? So what happens in the middle way? So yeah, it was fun, but it was intense. So, and I liked every moment of it because I really loved what I was doing, and I hope some of you are able to make sense out of this, and I hope this brings you very good luck, and this changes your life, and all good things happen, and Yeah, I'll stop here. So if anyone has any sensible questions, I will surely entertain them, but that's it. How many hours shall I spend? I think you should spend 22 hours coding in one day. So that's a very stupid question, because if you want to do something, that's not even a question, right? You spend all your time doing it. Age has nothing to do with coding. Of course not. Nothing has anything to do with coding. Any tips for DSA? Read Geeks for Geeks, man. How hard is it? Start Geeks for Geeks from the top, and just keep going until you can't go anymore. Can I make it with job? Of course you can make it with job. Learn. That's the only, see, for all your questions, I just have one answer. Extremely hard work and lots of learning along the way, which should implement to make coding next level. So again, asking for a coding hack, is a stupid thing to do, because when you're trying to build something real, you don't hack stuff, right? There are no shortcuts, guys. Let's be very clear on one thing, right? There are no shortcuts. If the only way you're going to build something meaningful is by taking the long route and by following it for the longest. So there is no coding hack which I can tell you, and you land a job in I don't know, wherever you want to land a job in. Yeah, I'll be teaching for the next 3 months at least. I will be teaching you HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, and a lot of JavaScript. Can you share a syllabus? I don't have one, man, but like I said, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then React. So that's pretty much it for now. We'll stop here. I can speak in Hindi, but a lot of you don't understand Hindi, and a lot of you don't understand English. So I'll try to keep it a mix of both. Right. You guys will be taught DSA, but I'm not going to be the DSA instructor. Someone else is going to be, but there will be DSA, there will be React, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and I think that's pretty much it. That's what you're going to need. Where am I from? I'm from Delhi. I spent 5 years in Pilani, where my college was. And then I was in New York for 1 year, and now I'm in Bangalore. Yeah. And now I will be moving to London. क्या हम लोग यहाँ DSA और Python सीखेंगे? नहीं, आप Python नहीं सीखेंगे, लेकिन आप बहुत सारा DSA सीखेंगे. How old I am? I am 27 years of age. Thank you. Glad you liked it, and I hope to see more of you guys in the coming future. Hey Asif, nice to know that you're from Pilani. DSA means data structure and algorithms. I have a gap after BTech, 6 years and no IT experience, sir. So Vidyasagar, I really want to answer that question. So Vidyasagar says that he has 6 years of gap and he has no IT experience. Can he get a job? In last batch of Newton School, there was someone with 10 or 12 years of HR experience. So she was an HR. I'm still in touch with her. Of course, I won't take her name. And she joined Newton School for a period of 6 months, and then she now has a wonderful tech job. That's all I can tell you. So will it work is not even a question. Pankaj, there is something really missing at your end, man, because others are able to hear. It will be taken care of, Umesh. Don't worry. Just bear with me for next few months, and believe me, we'll make something out of this. Should we ideally have pen and paper? Just keep a laptop if you can, and just try to listen to me more. And of course, you're going to have the video recordings. You can go through them, you can practice, and yeah. Okay, not telling your comments. Okay, what is your question? SIMF Stark. For mechanical engineers, coding will also be, oh God, so many chats. So do we need to do master also after this course? No, you don't need to do anything after this course. If you spend next 6 months razor focused on what we have to tell you, then the next things that you're going to be learning is going to be inside your job, inside your very well placed job. I'm 2019 pass out without having any job experience, 2 years gap. Will I be eligible for the course? Yeah. Anyone will be eligible for the course. Currently, I'm working at an IT company with 1 year of experience. So what will be the main package for experienced folks? Really depends, man, on which company you are in. I think minimum should be, I guess, 6 to 8 lakhs. But is anyone? Can I leave the meeting? Yeah, you guys can leave the meeting, guys. I'll just stay here for a couple of minutes if anyone has any questions. Is there any link between web development and ML? Absolutely no. Sir, मेरा income share agreement ही नहीं हुआ है. विद्या सर, अभी किसी का भी नहीं हुआ है. Next week से होगा वो सब. अभी आप जो बता रहे हैं वो सुनिए बस. Can I show the end of image tag? Yes, I can. It looks like this. I want to get a job in Google. Very good, Rahul. Just prepare well. It's really up to you. As I'm a SAP user, it's extra benefit for me. What do you want to teach tomorrow? I'll just move forward in HTML. So we'll start talking about more things in HTML, we talked about CSS a bit more, how CSS works, what CSS is. Now I can't read the chat comments, guys. It's too fast for me. I'm working in Amazon. Oh, that's pretty good, Abdul. Currently in consulting, with this experience be counted during my placement? Yes, it will be counted. How to render files specific? Is it browser specific? No, HTML files can be opened in the browsers. Can you suggest a website to learn coding? लेकिन application design खत्म हो गई है न्यूटन स्कूल की website पर. But I think you're already a part of it, so it should not matter. Guys, I'm not able to catch up to the comments now. I'm going to stop before my eyes burn out. Okay, let's stop here. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. I can really not answer all the questions now. I'm just super blown. Thank you, everyone. Good night. See you tomorrow. Bye, guys.